First of all, welcome back. For those of you who keep tuning in, I appreciate it. But welcome back. Here I am doing a little road rolling today. It's a little bit, yesterday it was way too dry and we couldn't even get the scarifiers in the land plane in the ground. Got a good rain this morning and now it's a little bit too wet. In fact, this spot right here where I'm at is just too muddy. It's a good firm base underneath it, but it's just too muddy that we won't be able to vibrate and roll this part of it. But up the hill here a little bit and a little bit back behind me we will. And you can see over on the edge there, I'm getting quite a bit of, let me see if I can zoom in there, quite a bit of dirt and mud built up on the scraper. But that'll come off and we'll put that back in and roll it down too. But I bought this Laughlin vibratory roller. It's a 1,900 pound apparatus, pretty solid piece of equipment. And I got to tell you, there was a bit of a learning curve with it. The very first job I did was for the dealer I bought it from, and he was so unhappy. He told me to get it off of his lot because I was tearing his gravel up because I didn't know how to use it. So after doing some studying, and I even called the Laughlin company, the factory, the folks that built it, very, very nice folks, and they gave me some advice and some pointers and things like that. Unfortunately, there's no instruction manual with it at all, and so that's kind of unfortunate. I being a airplane pilot, Air Force and airline pilot, I'm used to having lots of instructions. Once upon a time, back in the day at Northwest Airlines, we got trained so much we could practically field strip the airplane we were getting qualified in. We had to know that airplane inside and out. I'm going to go ahead and dump some of this mud off of this here machine, get some of it off of here, off of those scrapers, and not a lot of learning, or not a lot of instruction out there. So I did a lot of research and things and found out, to no one's surprise, that I was doing it wrong. So I figured mistakenly when I bought this machine that I would just, to roll it, you just turn on the vibration and just start rolling. That was all there was to it. And boy, was I wrong. Some of them, I guess, maybe you could, I don't know. But this Laughlin machine weighs so much that if you were to just start vibrating and rolling, you tear up a lot of stuff, you push a lot of gravel around, especially if it's dry. And that's one of the tricks I learned. You cannot be real dry. I've just run over this little section of road I'm repairing with my Jenkins iron and steel land leveler and scarifiers. I got the hydraulic unit with the scarifiers on it, and so using that now, I'm going to back up because it doesn't really like to roll backwards. I find that it just doesn't work real well. But anyways, I'm going to make this in a minimum of 3 passes, 3 separate, as pass all the way across the road. This first pass, I'm just kind of bedding the material in, and it actually works better with fresh material. This customer does not want to spend the money on fresh material. He just wants his potholes filled in. So we'll do it. What the customer wants is what the customer gets. But the first pass is going to be floating the boom and just putting a little bit of down pressure on the roller, especially in these muddy spots like you see right there in front of the machine as I'm backing up to get another start on it. And got off the road just a little bit, hit a couple of deck decorative rocks, I suppose. But let's see, let me get this thing raised up here so I can get out of this ditch. And so the first pass, what I'm doing now is just going to be kind of a light compaction pass. I'm going to float it, which is what I am doing. So we come up here and we float the boom. So I always put it down. I don't like to drop it. Float the boom, and then I tip it up so it's kind of hard to see from your vantage point, I guess, but where the scraper just barely comes out of view. Then I go up here and I put it into creeper mode, and I set it at 15%, which is what I found out works best with this roller. And I just go along nice and gently and just kind of take my time and roll it in. Let the 1,900-pound Laughlin roller just use its weight, and it kind of sets all the stone where it needs to be, and we just kind of go along and roll this in. And then my next pass, I'm going to put down pressure on the boom and put the roller back about the same angle where it is, and then I'm going to, with down pressure, I'm going to re-roll it again. And what that will do is really set the stone good. And again, this is really a technique more for fresh stone. I've used it on dryways that I've scarified and brought in crusher run. And then my last pass, if I do 3, my last pass will be with down pressure, like I do on the second pass, but I will turn on the vibration, but then I slow the speed down to on the creeper mode, on the creep mode, whatever you want to call it, to I'll slow it down to only about 7% of the forward speed, and it will really pack that rock down good. Again, in these muddy spots, I've found that turn the vibration off and actually don't do a whole lot of compaction. All you do is just make a big lolly mess. But going along, I don't know if you can see over the top, there's quite a bit of mud and debris catching on the scraper, but that's what the scraper's for. And we'll use it. We may haul it back on our back pass and put it on some of these low spots. But that's what I've got so far. Excuse me. Been working out in the rain all day, and my feet are wet, my hands are wet, my clothes are wet, and so I've got a little bit of a tickle in the throat now. But anyway, I'm going to finish rolling this out, and I'm so new at this YouTube stuff, and obviously doing all my videoing right now with an iPhone, so I'm not exactly sure how to stitch the two together, but I guess what I'll do is see if I can't pause this, and then as I come back on my next pass or two, I'll bring in for just a little bit of that. Alright, I did figure out how to do it. Alright, I'm on the second pass now. What I'm going to do is put the boom down all the way, and I'm going to keep it down. I'm not floating it this time. I'm leaving the boom stiff arm down, and then I'm going to rotate this. I don't know if you can see it. Rotate the roller down to where the top part of it there is just about level, and from my seat, when the edge of the scraper just disappears, or just is right at the edge of disappearing out of sight, that's the right place. Then I'm going to push myself up with the boom. So I'm running the front wheels about 3 inches or so off the ground, and then I'm back in my 15%, but now I'm packing and tracking here. So I'm going to go along here 15%, and I'm going to stay on this side of the road, and I'm in creep mode, 15%, running at right at 2100 RPM, something like that. I've found that the vibrator part of this machine likes around 2200 RPM, and again, it depends on the material. Some of the material, if it's soft, you can run a little harder. If it's gravel, dry, you might want to only run it about 2200 RPM. Sometimes you get into the hard stuff, it really hammers you more than it hammers the gravel. And that was the issue I had when I first got this. I was trying to bear down and just pound the dickens out of the stuff, and all you do is pound the dickens out of yourself, and you just get a trashy result. So now that I've gotten some experience with this Laughlin roller, again, not a sponsor, I wouldn't mind it, but since I've only got just a few subscribers, then I doubt seriously they're going to let me use their stuff. However, I will give you an honest review on anything I have, including my own. And if you don't believe me, look at my video on the Baumolite stump grinder. Good stump grinder, not a great stump grinder. As I say in that other video, I paid professional quality price, and I did get a very good machine. It's well built. I cannot fault Baumolite in the build quality. As a matter of fact, one of the things I like about that Baumolite stump grinder, that GMX 350, is the double row chain skirt around it. That chain skirt really, really, really is effective. Far more effective than I would have guessed it to be. Pardon me. But that is the best part of that stump grinder. I hate to say it, because I don't like talking bad about people, but in my opinion, and it's my opinion only, they over-advertised, oversold that machine for a 3.5 ton unit. So I paid professional price. I got a professional quality piece of equipment, but on its best day, it only gives you hobby performance. So you get the performance of a Chinese stump grinder for the cost of a top of the line stump grinder. To be honest with you, it's very disappointing. Once I get my Jenkins stump grinder hooked up to this skid steer, I'll give you a review on it. And in all fairness to Baumolite and Jenkins and everybody else, we're not going to be comparing apples to apples, because the skid steer, 74 horsepower engine, 3,500 pounds of pressure, and 21 gallons per minute of flow on it. So it's not going to be a good, true comparison, apples to apples. But the Jenkins skid steer mounted stump grinder was also $2,000 cheaper, and very well built, very heavily built, and we'll see how it goes. If it's like all the other Jenkins equipment I have, it's going to be a fantastic tool for my business. I don't know that you can really see too well, but on the right, as I'm backing back up, on the right of the screen is where I've only floated, done my initial pack. On the left side of the screen over here is where I've done my second pass over and had the down pressure and slower speed. So we will see how it goes when I do the full width of the road here. I'm expecting great things. So let me back up, get set, and do a little bit of this rolling, and I'll be back with you in just a few more minutes.